All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for June 18th, 2025.
Mhm.
Hope you're all having a fantastic week so far.
Yep.
Anyhow, yeah, hope you're
Yeah.
all having a good week. Kevin, how have you been?
Good. Last couple of days I can say it now because I'll be gone. In Utah. So then I'll be back at my old setup with, just chilling at my old setup now. So.
Yep, we'll be back to normal for Kevin next week.
Mm-mm.
But as for me, it's just been busy with school. Next week is my last week of this class, and I have to write a 10 or 12 page paper in the next week, so that's fun. Yeah, that's really about it. Fox Pixar reacted to the new Naked Gun trailer. Cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the trailers. By the way, how was the sign? It's actually about moving house. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. So what do you think is the over-under of Mel Brooks making it for Spaceballs 2 release since he's 98? Well, I hope they just film his parts this year or next year as soon as possible so they don't lose him. Or will they film it? I don't know if he'll make it to the premiere. I hope he does because it's coming out in 2027, so he'll be 100 years old. So.
Oh my gosh.
Fox Pixar says the Bluey cartoon.
Oh, it was good. I watched it. I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like that it harps on an adult situation for kids. So I really enjoyed it.
Well, there you go. But yeah, his full thoughts are in last week's stream, so that should be in the live section of the channel if you want to go back and watch it. But let's go ahead and dive into the news this week. We got quite a bit to talk about. And up first, pretty big here, Universal and Disney are suing Midjourney, the AI art generating app, for what they're calling straight up theft of their most valuable characters. This is kind of a no-brainer because it's able to generate their characters. It is funny that we did get, I gotta see if I can get this. Wow. They gave us a legal definition of what Shrek is.
Definition of Shrek?
Yeah, because Shrek's one of the characters that gets used a lot. So the legal definition, according to the lawsuit, describes him as a large, bald, dull, green-eyed ogre with a broad, round face, brown eyes, and highly distinctive trumpet-shaped ears, which is just hilarious to me. But Universal and Disney coming together to make for this lawsuit is pretty huge. So we'll see what ends up happening with it. Maybe AI or Midjourney and their creators are going to be able to say, well, we have to train it on something, so it's but who knows? This is kind of paving a way forward for AI law. So
yeah, it's good it's starting now in case something else happens along the way too. But next up, Top Gun 3 Maverick director gives exciting update. We have an ambitious idea. Cool. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but
no clues on story yet. Obviously, Joseph Kosinski is going to be doing the rounds because he directed F1, and that comes out in a couple weeks. Which that's starting to get some reviews that are coming in. But sounds like Tom Cruise would potentially come back for his role in some capacity, but it would probably focus on Rooster's kid. I forget what his name was in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, chicken or whatever. Anyhow, next up here, How to Train Your Dragon smashed expectations this weekend, earning almost $200 million in its first weekend globally. I have not had the chance to go see this yet. Neither has Kevin. I'm actually going to be going tonight right after the live stream, so you'll hear about it next week if it's any good. But the reviews have been positive, and the crowd turnout has been pretty positive. So we'll continue to talk about that as we go on.
Yeah, good on them. $200 million. That's fantastic for their first weekend. So
they've entered the live action reboot game.
I don't know about that. Maybe a couple at a time. Next up, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's just called Supergirl, which is fantastic. You don't need a long title for this one. Is this the director that said this?
Yeah, James Gunn said the following quote.
Okay. One of the things I brought up was it was called Superman Legacy. Even though I was the one that gave it that title, I wasn't sure. First of all, I'm sick of superhero titles, other name thing. Yeah, everybody is, I feel like. And then also, it seemed to be looking back when we're looking forward, even though it does have to do with a legacy in the movie itself. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, no, change it. So cool. I mean, shorter movie titles are perfectly okay with me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and if you make a sequel, you can call it 2, 3, whatever. You don't have to give it a subtitle if you don't want to. But, I mean, like, sometimes maybe it also gives you the opportunity to name it even more interesting things. But, I get both sides of the argument for sure.
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of James Gunn, he says that Batman is his largest priority right now. He is currently trying to get the scripts. He and his other writers are trying to get the scripts for Batman and Wonder Woman done and done correctly. And he has gone on record saying that he does not want the DCU version of Batman, or the new DCU version of Batman, to be a campy, fun Batman, but also not like to the level that, Ben Affleck's violence kind of a thing. So it's like a balancing act of getting the right version of the character. So,
gotcha. And so
give us one close to like the Batman animated series. That'd be great.
That would be cool. So is James? So he's taking over DCU. Is he?
He's already in.
Does that mean he's gonna? Well, I meant like, so is he gonna do Batman 2, or is he gonna be like an overseer with Patterson in it?
So James Gunn is the Kevin Feige of DC right now, but that also includes movies that are not a part of the DCU, like the Robert Pattinson Batman movies. Those will still happen, but they just won't be part of the DCU. They'll be part of the Elseworlds kind of moniker.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
I
think I'm up. Yeah. Looks like Saw is going to Blumhouse because they acquired the Saw rights. James Wan will help guide its future. I want to see where they're going with this. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I would like maybe some one-off movies would be pretty cool, of like maybe a fake Saw person trying to he got inspired by the original Jigsaw, which would be, I think, very interesting.
We got some similar stories to that. Spiral was someone that was influenced by the original Jigsaw, so who knows at this point. But it's nice that James Wan is going to be back in charge of it somewhat, because he's the one that created Saw. So, that kind of feels nice. Yeah. Speaking of some movies that are coming out this weekend, 28 Years Later is debuting to some high praise, getting a certified fresh 95% on Rotten Tomatoes and a high 78 on Metacritic. Whereas Elio is kind of going down a little more down the middle. Got a 68, I want to say, on Rotten Tomatoes. And let me check the 67 on Metacritic. And then Rotten Tomatoes has it at 86%. So actually pretty positive, all things considered. Remember, take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt, because that just means that 86% of the reviews were higher than a 60. It's very misleading. So anyhow, but yeah, I mean, this is great news. There hasn't really been a bad movie this summer yet that I don't think so. I haven't seen a bad one yet for the summer. I mean, there's been some mediocre ones. I mean, the only real bad movie we've had this year is probably Minecraft or Hard Eyes. So I don't know. I mean, speaking of, Kevin.
Speaking of, the Minecraft movie will be available for streaming starting Friday, June 20th on Max, Death of a Unicorn on July 22nd, and Opus on July 11th. I can't wait to watch the other two on this. I don't care about that first sentence there, so we can get past that.
The way you got to look at it, Kevin, is you got to find a film to put on your worst of the year list.
That's true.
So, just saying. But yeah, so if you want to check out any of these, I really want to check out Death of the Unicorn. I didn't see it in theaters, so I'll be having to wait a month here, and then I didn't get to see Opus either. So
I heard Opus was okay, right? Right down the middle,
mediocre to not okay. I don't know. I honestly don't remember what people were saying.
Yeah, me neither.
Next up, at the Annecy Film Festival, Pixar has announced Gato, which is their next film, one of their upcoming films, a Venice-set animated film from the director of Luca, Enrico Casarosa, which is slated for the summer of 2027. This is also their first 2D film.
Ooh, okay.
So, who knows? I mean, it might all still be done by computer, but it looks 2D from the artwork.
Nice.
So, I mean, hopefully it is when it comes out. If it isn't, I'm going to be disappointed. All the headlines said that it was going to be something more 2D.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. They can stay away from that 3D stuff. So that's what I think, at least. Next up, Paranorman, returns to theaters Halloween 2025 with a remastered release and new short voiced by Finn Wolfhard and Anna Kendrick, which is cool. I mean, Norman is like, I don't want to say underrated, but people don't talk about it enough, I feel like.
That would be the definition of underrated, but I mean, I want to actually check. I want to see, because I don't think I've actually reviewed Paranorman yet.
I don't think I reviewed it, but I've seen it. I think
I have not reviewed. I've seen it, but I haven't reviewed it. So I'll probably actually go see this in theaters, because
that would be cool.
You know, I think it'd be fun to go see it in theaters for a rewatch. Next up, Harold and Kumar is getting a sequel at Lionsgate, with the creators of Cobra Kai set to write, direct, and produce. So if you like the Harold and Kumar movies, which they can be fun at points, you know, we have a friend of ours that I'm sure would love this kind of humor, but you know,
yep.
We don't know when that's coming yet. We just know that it is in development and they're going to write a sequel. So
very cool. Yeah, I mean, good on them.
I was really excited to read this out, but I gave it to you because it's more horror related.
Oh, that's okay. A24 greenlights 19-year-old horror influencer Kane Parsons, The Backrooms, a sci-fi horror film, starring. Oh, I'm not going to know how to say that name.
It's Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renate Rensiv, I believe.
Perfect. I would have butchered the shit out of that. Cool. I mean, awesome. I think that is a disturbing game, period. So I'm so ready for it.
So The Backrooms was created, at least the short film, the original short film that kicked everything off, was created by Kane Parsons, who is now going to be directing the feature-length film from A24 based on his own short film series on YouTube. And this makes him the youngest director in A24 history, being 19 years old. So
very cool.
He was actually supposed to direct this, I want to say about a year ago. He was supposed to do it like when he was on break from college or high school. But it sounds like he is going to be now making it as he's 19. So I am super excited for this because the short film's fantastic. I love The Backrooms as a concept. And it's the guy who made it doing the movie. So yeah. I'm all
great job, A24.
Oh, yeah. A24 is nailing it with some of their picks lately. Next up, Tom Cruise is finally getting his first Oscar. He'll be getting an honorary one at the Governor's Awards in November. We're getting an honorary award for commitment to the theatrical experience, which, I mean, if there's any star that drives people to the theater,
it is him.
It's going to be him. So I love that for him. He is a great actor. I mean, he does get lost in doing action roles specifically, but I love the fact that he's going to be getting an honorary Oscar. And with him kind of retiring a little bit from action films and kind of doing some more drama stuff coming up, hopefully he gets another chance at an acting one. So
yeah, you know, it would be a pleasant surprise to see him, an older Tom Cruise, get some nominees for different movies. Because I remember when he not first came into the light of a movie star, he did have like his Mission Impossible roles, but he did have like it's Harry Maguire and stuff like that. That really I feel like is underrated in his acting skills.
No, yeah, I mean, and he has 4 Oscar nominations. He was nominated in 1990 for Born on the 4th of July. He was nominated in 1997 for Jerry Maguire, nominated in 2000 for Magnolia, and then had a Best Picture nomination 2 years ago for Top Gun Maverick. So he does have nominations, but he's just going to be finally getting his own statue.
Good.
So
That's awesome. Good for him. The Woman in the Yard will officially be available for streaming on June 27th, exclusively on Peacock. So if you missed out on this horror movie, horror thriller, I don't know if it's really a horror movie. We'll see. It'll be there if you want to watch it.
did you see this movie in theaters?
No, I did not.
Okay, I remember you were kind of excited for it. So, but yeah, I'll probably have to check this out because I didn't get to see it in theaters. So excited about that. And last piece of news here, I think this sounds pretty great. Darren Aronofsky is being eyed to direct Dwayne Johnson's next film, which is actually like his upcoming one. It's at A24, and this film is called Breakthrough. Set in the turn of the millennium Southern California, so about 2000. The story follows an alienated young man who comes under the influence of a motivational guru whose intoxicating charm masks his morally questionable methods of manipulation and his own concealed darkness. Dwayne Johnson would play the motivational guru. So this would actually be his first like horror villain type role. Or not horror, but like a thriller. But he'd be a villain. Which I think that sounds like a great film, and I think Darren Aronofsky is a great choice to direct it. So hopefully it ends up working out.
He can push Dwayne in the right direction on how to act sometimes. So we'll see.
He can push the boulder. Sorry, the rock.
The rock.
But anyhow, did actually see How to Train Your Dragon. It was something. All right.
That's
Glad
good
to hear it. Not to be confused with the Queen Track Breakthrough. No, of course not. All righty. And let's go ahead and talk about the trailers that came out this week. Kevin, anything stand out to you?
I mean, I was surprised to see Spaceballs 2 on here because it's just, I mean, it was just like a teaser trailer or like an announcement. So we haven't really gotten anything on this movie, correct?
Yeah, well, we knew it was coming. We knew that Josh Gad was working on a script for it. And that was about it. And then we actually reported on that, I think, like within the last year. And then this is the official announcement, and that trailer was hilarious. It was fantastic.
Good. And
I would also say the Naked Gun looks great. It looks like a return to the 80s spoof style, which I am all here for. And then I think that Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. It's going to be another movie that's going to come out. It's going to get Oscar nominations because it's a musician biopic, which we can't seem to get enough of. But Jeremy Allen White looks good in the role. We'll just see if it ends up being any good. So
any good? Yep.
It certainly looks like it's going to be a boring movie. Naked Gun is a standout. Yep. I mean, Spaceballs 2 also, just because Mel Brooks is fantastic. But Kevin, let's go to the box office.
Yeah, the box office. How to Train Your Dragon coming in at number 1 with 83.7 million, leagues and miles away from Lilo and Stitch at second place with 15.5 million. The Materialist at 12 million in third place. Very cool to see that up there. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning at 10.3 million, and Ballerina coming up at the top 5 with 9.4 million. Materialist getting a lot of love. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yep, been seeing a lot of excitement for it. It's got decent reviews, and I think a lot of the people who were very impressed with Past Lives went to go see it. Isn't it? It also helps that you have Pedro Pascal, who's the star who's on top of the world right now, and Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson. So I'm probably gonna go see that tomorrow. So we'll find out how it is.
Nice.
But let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out this weekend. And up first, actually, I did not pull these up ahead of time. Look at me. I knew I was forgetting something. Next up is Elio, the new Pixar movie. Elio, a space fanatic with an active imagination, finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who he is truly meant to be. I think that this looks absolutely wonderful. The trailers have made me kind of giddy and laugh a lot. And it's got a pretty decent cast of people in it. So I'm not going to complain about that. And looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So there is Elio. Up after that is 28 Years Later, a movie that we've been excited for because the trailers have been fantastic. A group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. This looks absolutely incredible. We have yet to see how good it's going to be. So we'll find out when the movie comes out if it's going to be any good. Sounds like it from the reviews, though. Up next is Bride Hard, which I hadn't even seen trailers for. When a mercenary group takes a lavish wedding hostage, they have no idea what they are in for, as the maid of honor is actually a secret agent ready to rain hellfire upon anyone who would ruin her best friend's wedding.
Nice.
I feel really bad for Divine Joy Randolph because she's in this movie. She was the Oscar winner for The Holdovers.
Yep.
I don't know why she did this movie. It currently has a 10 on Metacritic. So that is probably the worst score of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then up last is Everything's Going to Be Great. Going to Be Great, excuse me. This is, as the Smart family wrestle with their oversized dreams, they come to realize that the struggle to find your voice and your place in the world can happen no matter what stage of life you're in. This looks like one of those kind of artsy, kind of indie films. Does star Allison Janney and Bryan Cranston, which I'm very excited to see them together. Looks like a cute movie. It's got a 43 on Metacritic, though, but an 8.5 on IMDb. So I have no idea what to think about this movie. But if it's available to stream anywhere or watch anywhere, check it out.
Nice.
And that is going to be it for the kind of scheduled, written, kind of predisposed part of the whole thing today. So Kevin's been a busy bee and has not watched anything.
No. Well, I know. Okay, I watch stuff, just not.
Outside the wheel spin and movie club. So, but I watched 6 movies this week. So I'll go ahead and get to those real quick. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly, but I still want to get some thoughts out there in the world. Up first is the animated film Watership Down, which is available on Criterion and Max right now. I was really hyped up this movie because I heard it was really dark and disturbing for a kid's animated movie, and it is. It's just not as bad as people say it is. And it's a bunch of bunnies that can die in some pretty crazy ways. I didn't love this movie on first viewing, but the animation is absolutely gorgeous. The story is really impactful. The idea of what we're capable of doing to one another, but then also what we are capable of doing to nature and everything around us. I think it kind of falters in its cast. I think John Hurt is in this movie in a major role. He's good, but everyone else just kind of feels like they don't want to be there, which is a little distracting, unfortunately. But I think it's fine. It's a movie that I'm going to need to rewatch at some point, and I could grow on it. But on first viewing, it did not really completely sell me, but I did like it. Up after that is Sphere, a movie that my cousin picked for our kind of take turns movie nights thing in our apartment. And this movie exists. This is created and written by the same guy who created Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton. And this is nowhere near as good as Jurassic Park. One of the biggest reasons for this movie being a complete dud is the cast, specifically Dustin Hoffman, who is totally miscast in this movie. He already looks like he's 60 years old, and we're just supposed to believe he's at the bottom of the ocean with the scientific expedition, whatever. The second reason is the plot itself. It makes no sense. There's so many plot holes and things that they just forget. It's really obvious and very annoying. It's trying to be something more than just like a creature feature, and it would have been better if it was a creature feature, if it was something like Alien, but it ends up trying to go a whole different path, and it's just terrible. Also, the ending of this movie is abysmal. It is horrible, and it is the entire reason this movie is as bad as people say it is. But there are some decent performances from Sharon Stone, Samuel L. Jackson, and Liev Schreiber. And I will say that I do have a soft spot for movies like this. So it is a guilty pleasure of mine now. Like, I can't hate the movie because I do have that soft spot. But yeah, 18 out of 100. It was pretty pretty abysmal, which is funny because it's a ripoff of The Abyss too. Next, I went to the theaters to see The Life of Chuck, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed this movie. This movie feels like a warm hug from a loved one, which is really nice. I kind of walked out unsure of how to feel, and then as I thought about it, I liked it more and more. Off the bat, my biggest criticism is that there's not enough Tom Hiddleston. He's only in the movie for a very small amount of time, and the small amount of time he's there is fantastic, but I want to see more of him. The cast all around, though, is amazing in this movie. Specifically, I want to call out Mia Sara and Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, I think, could potentially get an Oscar nomination for this if he's lucky. Probably a long shot, but I think he deserves it. And then Mia Sara, who was most notably the girlfriend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and retired from acting, came back to do this movie, which is awesome, and she's great in this movie. The structure is really interesting. It tells the story backwards, which is not really a spoiler, but that's all I will say. And it makes more sense as it gets to its final act and lets us kind of know why everything is happening the way it is. It's a very special kind of explanation. It's a very warm film. It has some dark moments. Its beginning arc is a little on the depressing side, but it makes sense kind of given everything going on. But this is from Mike Flanagan, the guy who did Betrayal at House, or not Betrayal, The Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Mass, and kind of a horror movie savant doing something that's not horror. And I really thought that this was a fantastic film, so I would highly recommend it. All right. Next, I watched Tora, which is my dad's favorite World War II movie. I watched this with my father on Father's Day. So, what did you guys do? No, I'm just kidding. I was not expecting to like this movie as much as I did. I was expecting to be bored senseless, but I really thought that this was a fun time. This movie, refreshingly, shows the Americans as bumbling morons. And I love when a movie shows the Americans as not the smartest people, because I don't want to see propaganda. I want to see more realistic stories. But the problem is that was actually how it was at this time. This is a very true to reality, almost like a reenactment style documentary, but it is a blockbuster film. And it's as true to the facts as it possibly can be. You know, we thought we were invincible, and we got humbled real fucking quick. It was actually kind of nice to see. I can say that the film can be a tad boring in its first hour. It's a lot of dialogue because it's all this. The first half of the movie are the months and days leading up to Pearl Harbor, and then the last hour is the attack on Pearl Harbor. So the first half is a little bit more boring. It's a lot of dialogue. Last half is where it truly shoots off. This movie shines from its stunts and its scope in that last act, but then also it tells both sides of the story. You see the Japanese perspective and the American perspective. There are two Japanese directors that did the Japanese stuff, and everything that the Japanese is way better. They're all like actual characters with flaws and traits, and like you actually can understand where they're coming from, whereas the Americans are all kind of a little on the annoying side. And it feels much less well-made, which is kind of interesting. But really like this movie. Would really highly recommend it for anyone who's interested in World War II. If you're not really interested in World War II, probably won't like it as much, but I think most of you could at least respect the whole like battle sequence, because it is truly fantastic. All right, two more. I swear I'm almost done. A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 remake. Oh boy. Oh, I was going to go see this on a date when I was in high school, and I'm glad that I didn't. But this remake, biggest prop I can give it, it's well-intentioned, right? Beyond the desire just to make money, it's attempting to reinvigorate the character and update the look and the characters for a modern day. I can respect that, but it falls apart. I love Jackie Earle Haley as an actor. He is who plays Freddy Krueger in this movie. I don't think he's wrong or miscast. I think he was just given a really bad script, because on one hand, he's a much darker version of the character, but then they throw in all these joke lines and one-liners, which, like, pick one. Either he's going to be real dark or he's going to be a one-liner. You know, like, I'm not saying he shouldn't talk, just make the dialogue better. The rest of the cast is terrible in this movie, except for Rooney Mara and Kyle Gallner, who have gone on to become very good actors. You can tell they're at least trying to do something with what they're given. And apparently, this is Rooney Mara's. She did not want to do this movie and almost quit acting because of it, and has now gone on to become a much more successful independent film actress. So good for her. But the worst thing about this movie is that it's boring. Like, aside from some occasional good cinematography and some callbacks to the original, this film is a complete dud. It is like, it goes nowhere. It reeks of mediocrity, and it's just bad. And I blame Michael Bay for this, because Michael Bay produced this. He also did the Friday the 13th remake that's terrible, and he did the Texas Chainsaw remakes, which were terrible. Like, keep Michael Bay away from film is what I've learned from this movie. But yeah, it's bad. I don't like it, and you shouldn't either. Although I would rather watch this again than Sphere, maybe. Who knows?
Ooh.
Actually, I don't know. We'll see. Last up is Britain and the Blitz. This is a new documentary film that came out on Netflix this year. And it takes archival footage of London during the German bombings of London at the beginning of World War II. And it mixes it with interview audio from people who were around at the time. And it's fine. It colorizes that footage, but then there are also parts where they use AI upscaling and AI to kind of like repair shots, and you can tell.
Yeah.
But like, that's probably the best possible use for AI in film, is to help recreate old footage. It's just not quite there yet, but it is a lot better than I was expecting.
Nice.
I will say that this was somewhat a little bit boring. Like, if you already know stuff about the bombing of London, this isn't the most exciting thing in the world. But I love it when they take real footage and they mix it with actual people's interviews and audio, instead of, like, I hate talking heads being just talking at you. So, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. If you're interested at all in World War II, you probably know what's going on with the bombings and stuff. But it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it.
I'll go next.
There you go. Here's your wheel spin short.
Yeah, Dial P for Pink, and this is a fantastic short little I was gonna say film short with the
reminder, it's not a porno. Just a reminder, it is not a porno.
Oh, well, the Pink Panther was in it, so but this was really funny. A guy tries to break into a house to steal a safe, and just shenanigans happens. I was grinning the entire time, just because, again, I haven't seen a Pink Panther short in a while, and I absolutely loved it. He comes out of the thing smoking a cigarette. Man, this was the 60s, all right. I really enjoyed it. Really funny things. Very short as well. Really liked it. 93 out of 100.
There you go. My short was How to Hook Up Your Home Theater, which is actually from 2007, which I didn't know was that late in the game. This is another goofy short from Disney. Probably the best one that I've seen so far, probably because of my personal connection. I was a former Magnolia sales associate for Best Buy and did home theater sales for like a year and a half, and I love home theater tech. So this is pretty funny and accurate. I think it's funny, but I don't think it's necessarily the most memorable thing in the world. And I think the modern touch, the modern animation, the modern tech kind of takes away from it a little bit, which is interesting, because I feel like when I see Goofy or Mickey or Donald, I kind of want to see him like in more like 40s and 50s kind of style era stuff. I don't know, it's weird, but this one was good. Did enjoy it.
Nice. Would you enjoy it maybe if it was like older television, like tube televisions and stuff like that?
I mean, maybe. But they didn't really have that as much back in, the old days.
No, okay. Gotcha. All right. My movie, Babyface, 1933. This is it was a good movie. It's a love triangle drama movie. I did feel a little bit uncomfortable, unfortunately, during some parts of this movie, just because the time frame had some... Again, it's her history. It's supposed to be there. But it's just hard to watch now, just because of, like, she has a black friend who is not, I don't want to call her the other word, but is a friend that does all of her chores for her, pretty much. They don't outright say anything, but she's doing everything else. And this serves the main character and some of the other women characters as very if you sleep with the boss, you get your way. And that's what this movie is about. But the drama between what happens when you mess around, it's like I love my saying, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So, and that's what happens in this movie. And the drama behind that I really got into, and it was good. It's only an hour and 10-minute movie. It's and from the 30s, I think it was fantastically made.
And lastly is the movie that Kevin picked for me from the Wheel Spin, which was Tales from Earthsea from 2006. This is a Studio Ghibli film made by Goro Miyazaki, son of Hayao Miyazaki. And I think this is probably the weakest Ghibli film by far. That's not to say it's terrible. It does have some good things. On the positive side, it's absolutely gorgeous. Great looking film, as all Ghibli films are. And the voice cast in both English and Japanese are great. Can't really argue with them. I think that there is some flair that Goro adds to this. There's definitely some moments that feel more like a more contemporary anime as opposed to like a typical Ghibli film. And I really like that this felt more adult. Like this felt more like a Lord of the Rings style thing, as opposed to like Princess Mononoke or any other similar film by Hayao. However, I think this film the biggest problem is it's poorly paced. And on more than one occasion, I felt myself bored to tears. The problem is that it moves at a snail's pace, and then when like larger story beats happen, I just didn't care because I wasn't like made to care. The problem is that it feels like a middle chapter, which apparently it is because it's based off the third book in a series. So why do I care for the characters as much as I do? Like, I'm sure the series is a good time and I'll have to check it out, but I'm more interested in reading the books now than I am in watching this again. But though I think that what the worst part of this is that it lacks any of the Ghibli appeal. It lacks the spirit of a Ghibli film. I think this appears to be an ongoing issue for Studio Ghibli films that are not from Hayao Miyazaki or Isao Takahata. When they're both gone, I think we might see Studio Ghibli go away, unfortunately, unless they really fix their act real fast. Simply put, this just doesn't live up to their standard, which I found was really disappointing. It's not bad, but it may even be better on a rewatch, but it's not like I'm rushing to watch this one again.
Gotcha. Okay.
So... but here we go here. Babyface was before the Hays Code was instituted in Hollywood, which some argue restricted Hollywood for years. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I'm actually doing my paper right now on the Hays Code, which is the ethics code you're talking about, which I'm very excited to do my paper on. So, alrighty. Nice. And that is going to be it for all the movies we watched. Hopefully you all had fun listening to mostly me talk on that one. But once Kevin gets back and he's done with classes, it should be a lot easier for him. But that's going to bring us to our favorite part of the show. Kevin, I know you're sure you're excited.
Hold on. I got it. We're going to spin that wheel, baby. I was trying to do the Price is Right wheel, but the camera's so small.
It's true. All right, let's go ahead and get the wheel spin up. So go ahead, we'll give you 2 minutes if you want to go ahead and let us know anything you would like to add to the list. Let's try and limit it to one film per person, unless Joey, you have more shorts for us by some measure. But I am looking forward. I don't know what I want to watch this week. Kevin, don't do that again. That was a little awkward.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I noticed that it was a little bit, and I was like, I'm already on it. So,
you know what? You gotta commit to the bit.
Exactly.
Stand and Deliver from 1988. I just saw this on something. I think it was like YouTube or Amazon or something. It was just added, so kind of funny. Alrighty, give it a little bit more time. If anyone would like to add anything to the list, remember, one film per person, and we can get that added to the wheel. Just type it into the chat if anyone is interested in vetting that on there. No, yeah, I don't know what I'm looking forward to doing. I don't know. Something.
Me neither.
Just something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if we have any Disney classics on there, but that would be very nice.
I don't see any Disney. I don't think there are any Disney classics, but it's Toy Story. No, Toy Tinkers. I thought this said Toy Story. Madam Web. No.
No, I said Disney classic, not trash.
Oh, what about Hobo and Hobo with a Shotgun?
Hobo with a Shotgun.
All right. And coming up here on 2 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and spin the wheel. Give it a couple more seconds here. And I think we are good. All righty, Kevin, let's spin and get you a short.
Yep. Even though my internet is crap and I can't see this, the wheel is not spinning on my screen. So, just saying, it's spinning on your screen though, probably.
Your short is Listen Judge, which is a Three Stooges short.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Okay. I haven't seen this one before because I feel like I've watched something with the judge. So let me look.
There was like that Satan's Waiting one had a judge in it. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
No, it was a little bit earlier in the pod.
Oh, okay. Also, all of the Three Stooges, most of the Three Stooges shorts are on Amazon Prime, so I would check on there to see.
Oh.
All right, let's go ahead and shuffle it and get my short this week. And my short is going to be not Ouija. The Martinis or something? Martins? Hold on. The Martians and the Martins and the Coys. Excuse me. I don't know why I said Martians. The Martins and the Coys is my short this week.
I feel like you've seen that one.
Let me check it out.
Because I remember you saying that name, or maybe it was there writing it down.
I have not seen it. No.
Oh, okay. Never
I
mind.
believe this is actually a Disney short, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Walt Disney. Interesting. Alrighty. I think you're talking about the Dover Boys or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, and Kevin's feature-length film pick is... If it's from me, I have
How
a movie.
to Train Your Dragon. Oh, I have to.
But it is not. Kevin's watching Days of Thunder.
Oh, actually, I wanted to watch that one, so that's okay.
Well, there you go. Kevin's got Days of Thunder. We got
Speaking
a Kevin
of
one.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right. Let's it's like I just want to do the same movie again. Let's do it with cars instead of airplanes.
We got cars turning left. Make it.
And here we go. Yeah, there you go. One Big Left Turn is what the movie should have been called. Right, and my movie is going to be. Looks like it's going to be not that one. I can't pick for myself. That's what the outside the wheel spin movies are. Alrighty, and is it gonna be Garrett's Pin? No, The Replacements from 2000. I have no idea what this movie is.
The Replacements.
Let's find out. Replacements from 2000. That's a football movie with Keanu Reeves.
You love football, baby.
It's got Keanu Reeves in it. That's immediately made things better. But alrighty, actually it makes sense. If it's an underdog story, I need that for an upcoming video. But that is going to mean that this week our movies are Kevin's watching the short Listen Judge from Three Stooges, and I will be watching The Martins and the Coys from Disney. Our feature-length films for Kevin are Days of Thunder, the NASCAR racing film with Tom Cruise, and The Replacements from this was a football one with Keanu Reeves. So anyhow, that is going to be it for this week. Thank you all so much for joining us for this live stream. We've enjoyed having you along on this journey. Of course, we are going to have our movie club episode coming out on Friday. It's our last one before our episode 100 spectacular. And that movie coming out this week on our movie club is The Great Dictator, the Charlie Chaplin movie, making fun of Adolf Hitler. So cannot wait to talk about that one this week because it is quite something. But that's going to be it. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Of course, we'll go live again next week at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Kevin will be back home, so that'll be nice. And then we'll be with you then. I don't know what else I was going to say. Thank you so much for watching, of course. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen. Have a great night, everyone, and have a good week.